What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the LA Soccer Hub Show. My name is Gio Garcia, coming to you a day after El Trafico Part 3. It was a 1-1 tie. It was a lot of emotion going in. Both teams needed a win. Both teams didn't get the win. That's unfortunate. We wanted to see a winner. I know I definitely did. There was a lot of different things going on there. But before I get started, let me introduce my guest. So today we're gonna do it's going to be pre-recorded, no live show today, but we're going to talk about both teams. JP's here. JP Marcus is going to help us talk about the LAFC, what he saw on the LAFC side, and then Jonny Bolin is here. He's going to talk to us about what he saw on the Galaxy side. JP, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Just waking up early morning, just trying to, you know, take the tie well, but it's hard after what you see. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. No,
overall
it's
good.
definitely. Yeah, Jonny, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Ate some toaster strudels, so that's a great way to start the day. You can't complain. You just can't complain with that.
Yeah. Look, I should also mention it's 8 a.m. Pacific time, so it's early for us. So we had a pre-recorded. A couple of us got a lot going on, so this is the best time to record it. The good thing is that we're gonna get the podcast out there early. No live show, like I said. But yeah, let's talk about this. JP, I know you went to the game. How was that? I think this was your first away Old Trafico.
Yeah, this was my first, away experience in general. Just being, I guess, on the other side of things. It was good. I mean, you definitely felt some animosity. There's always some, Galaxy fans walking by saying something, chirping or whatever. I guess the only physical experience I had was a guy, gave up to give me a high five. So I was like, okay, I'll just give it to him, and then he just swats my arm, pretty extra. And I go back, and I was like, so unnecessary. But we just kept on walking. So I was like, that's it. Besides that, I mean, I saw the fights on social media after. I didn't really see anything while I was there, so nothing really happened to me. But I mean, I was sitting around Galaxy fans, but they didn't say anything. I didn't say anything, so it was all good. Besides that, but we'll get into the fight later. But yeah, I didn't see it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we don't. I mean, we'll address it, but I mean that's not what
Yeah,
the episode's about. Yeah, but
no,
like,
I know.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we'll talk about that. But let's get it. Let's talk about the game first, and yeah, we'll address the situation because it happens on both sides, and it's unfortunate what happened on social media. I definitely do feel like the teams need to do a better job. Escorting fans out, whether it's LAFC opposing fans, they need to be escorted out. Or it may need. I don't know if we may need to be like South America or like you have LAFC side fans that are traveling on one side, right? If you're supporting this team, maybe you can sit on this side. I don't know if we're at that situation, but I think the security and everything needs to be a lot better. But JP, I mean, excuse me, Jonny. Let's talk about you. How'd you enjoy this experience? How was this game for you?
It was a mess from start to finish. I messed up. I thought the game was at 7:30, so I got there at like 4, and I was like, "Why is everyone all here?" And then one of my buddies called me. He's like, "Where are you?" And I was like, "Oh crap." And yeah, it was just it was busy, and you know how it is. And I think the result was, it was expected. I expected a tie. What happens when two, you know, unmovable objects hit each other? Nothing. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. And then yeah, the obvious. I don't know about you guys, but the energy in the stadium was just really weird the entire day. It was really.
Yeah,
It wasn't like a normal El Trafico. It felt like
yeah.
dark kind of like from start to finish. Like I felt like uncomfortable. Like usually I go to these games and I'm super pumped up. I was
Mhm.
uncomfortable, and it was kind of weird. And I don't know. The game was weird. Everything was weird yesterday.
Yeah, what I will say it was I think is because everybody that follows why right each particular their team knows that going into this match neither team was doing good. So you're like you just didn't know what was gonna happen. Like I feel like there was more not as much optimism, right? Because typically these
Mhm.
games you're like, oh, we gotta be, but it's like I was feeling like, oh, we better not lose. We don't want to lose, type of feeling because you didn't feel confident in your team and 1-1 tie, I was like, "Oh my god, oh my goodness!" Like it's just not what you wanted to see. Obviously, you wanted to see a winner,
Yeah.
um, and it's just very unfortunate. But let's talk about the before the game because it was a very monumental moment. Landon Donovan finally got his statue. Big thing. It's like I would say he's the greatest American soccer player of all time. And the way what he's done for the MLS, what he's done for U.S. soccer, and all these different things. I think it was a very special moment. I was there. I got to see it. I got to part and all those different pregame activities. Though, one thing I will say, the conversations leading up to it, everybody is inducting him or his all his fam- they were way too long. We're like, let's just get to Donovan. Let's hear it. We want to see the statue. Obviously, Johnny, you being a Galaxy fan, what does this mean to you, and what does it mean to Landon Donovan finally getting a statue?
He deserves it. We all knew it was coming at some point after the Beckham statue. We all knew, okay, next is Donovan. But I mean, he means the world to us, and it's like, for a lot of us, Donovan was the guy that got us into the Galaxy before Beckham, and everything that he did for the sport in America as an American. Because that was the thing is Beckham brought a lot of fans in, but Donovan made him stay. And I feel like that's a topic of conversation that a lot of people like know, but they just kind of forget about. So it's super deserved, and it's really cool to see Donovan in that spotlight. Getting the love from the fans and everything. It was awesome. It was just really awesome, and I love Landon Donovan. We're always gonna love Landon Donovan. He's our guy till the end, and seeing that statue now next to the Beckham one is just gonna be really really cool.
Yeah. JP, obviously, you know what Landon Donovan means to the MLS. What were your thoughts on Landon Donovan finally getting his statue?
I think he should have gotten it first, but I think that's another discussion. I understand why
Yeah.
Beckham. I understand why Beckham got it first because it's Beckham and everything. But if you really want to be down to the history and who was there longer, who did more, it was Landon Donovan. For club and country, he's Captain America, the first Captain America. But yeah, I mean, I don't like the statue. His face is way too wrinkly.
No, like, look, I knew that was going to be brought up, and that's what I want to talk about. I think the pose and everything. The one thing,
Yeah,
it was
everything
the
is good
same.
up to
Yeah,
here.
the artist who did David Beckham's statue is the same artist that did Landon Donovan's statue. That's what was said. I think the face is a little questionable. I like the pose, I like everything else. I just felt like they made him look too old with with
Mhm.
uh with the lines, or I don't. I'm not an art artist, obviously, but like they just made him look way too old. I guess that was just I don't know. I'm not gonna speak on the artist, but it could have been better.
Yeah.
Johnny, what were your thoughts on the facial part of the statue?
For the Galaxy fans, we know it's Landon, and for everyone else, he does look like a Marvel supervillain. So, like, I don't know, the way the hair is back, I
Yeah,
can see it. Yeah.
yeah. No, look, I got a video, and this is the video from the unveiling, and I'm gonna play it.
4, 3, 2, 1.
So
Do they
it's
use
it's,
that
it's
song?
huh?
Because I wasn't at the unveil. They used that song.
Yeah, they use that. They use that song. Like I don't know who
Oh
decided.
man.
But I guess because he's a winner, he's won trophies. I guess it makes sense. I don't know what song you would like, Johnny, but I
Oh,
didn't think it was a bad choice. Why
yeah.
don't you like the song?
I don't know. It just seems like like it's a statue unveiling. Like who sings that song? Is it? It sounds like T-Pain. It's T-Pain, right? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
T-Pain.
look, it's T Pain and DJ Khaled, I believe.
Oh yeah, no, that shouldn't have been it. And if Donovan chose it, then whatever. It's Donovan's choice. But I was expecting something a little bit more like regal for like a stadium or a statue unveiling, I guess. But what am I? I don't have a statue. I'm yet. But when I
This
do, it's
guy.
not going to be that song. Oh,
Yeah,
JP lost.
yeah. Oh, we lost JP. He's gonna he'll hop back in. But yeah, no, look, I think on the statue thing, it's a very special moment. It's always a very special moment, and these are one of the things of LA Galaxy. And I'm sorry, do you guys hear the background noise? I don't know if you hear the background noise.
Nope.
Perfect. Because there's a lot of construction outside my window. But I think that's one of the things about the Galaxy that obviously they have the history that they're able to do things like this, and I think it's very special. Um, for when a player gets inducted and get obviously inducted into the was it called the Ring of Honor, and also the statue. So I think it's a very monumental moment, like in MLS history, right? Not just Galaxy, but MLS history and everything like that. So, and it's special for me. This is my second time. I saw the David Beckham, and now being able to see in statue of Venice because I don't know if any other club outside the LA Galaxy at the moment has statues of their players out just yet. But it's cool to see the league grow and be a part of these different things and know a lot of the different history. So shout out to Landon Donovan. He got that, and also they give out T-shirts prior to the game. So that was pretty cool. I know people were very excited about that. But let's talk about this game, man. This game was very, I don't know, boring. Is that the right word? Because at least that's for me. Going in the second half, it was just like I wanted a winner, didn't happen. And I don't think any team can leave feeling, I don't know, happy. Is that, like or feeling good going into this international break because you're going into this in both teams with the same feelings you went into this game. JD, what were your thoughts on obviously LAFC going into this game because it was a
But he did not seem to want to win this game. The lineup was questionable. Chrysostomos shouldn't have started, from my opinion. Edwards in a weird role. I don't know if he was the wing back or a winger. Just felt off, and then just overall just felt defensive. And he didn't want to go out and get the 3 points.
Yeah, look, knowing Bob Bradley, I don't think he goes in any game approaching. He wants to get a his mindset's not try to get it. Obviously, they need to get a win, but I just wanted to just speak on that. But yeah, look, when you look at the lineup, it was all right. Like we look at it, but also at the same time, who do they really have, right? Is this where you're at? Because we knew Carlos Vela was not going to play. So I'll just pull this up. So obviously in the back line, you had Blackman, Fall, Murillo, Farfan, Edwards. In the midfield, Blessing, Cifuentes, Crisostomo, Atuesta, and up top you had Rodriguez and Arango. The good thing about LAFC, 10 minutes in, they got a goal. And I have the goal here. Mamadou Fall, he's shown to be an aerial attack. He's shown to be a lethal weapon when it comes to set pieces.
Mamadou Fall. What an introduction to this fixture for this young man who looks so at home amidst the hurly-burly of major.
So he's definitely brought a lot of excitement when it comes to set pieces because now you have a weapon there. Jonny, let's talk about the LA Galaxy. Obviously going into this game and everything like that. How'd you feel how the LA Galaxy started? Obviously, I know they gave a goal 10 minutes in.
It's funny and I was hearing everyone talk after the goal. The expectation with these games is that they're always just nuts. So I wasn't really too worried. Like when LAFC scored the goal, I was like, well, these games are a mess. So they're either going to score a couple more, and then we'll come back and tie it, or we're just going to tie it now. And it was funny because after we scored, I wasn't even surprised. I was like, there it is. Like that's just what this type of game is. We haven't really seen an El Trafico yet where either team seemed out of it. At least, separate to the 2020 season where with having fans present, we haven't had a game yet where one team has been awful and the other team has been on it. So it's I think that's the expectation at this point. I wasn't bummed when LAFC scored. I was like, I know we'll come back. It's those set pieces though, dude. It's annoying. And in that situation, we had 2 guys on him and we still, he still got to it. Three.
Yeah, those three. I think it was Sega, Robertson, and I forgot who the Nico.
Yeah. And I've been saying this for a while, Sega's 8 feet tall. Like, how are we going to let that happen? And then again, not a goalkeeper. And I always say stuff like this, and it sounds stupid, but it's like, where else is that ball going to go? If there's dudes all around him, where else is it going to go, Bond? Like, where else? And I
think it just happened so fast, though. It's just it's such a quick header that I think that to me is more on the defense. Because you got to get a body first. You can't find you got to get a body first and then find the ball. Because if you put a little arm bar on Fall, here's my little coaching. Here's my premature coaching, right? If you get a little body on him, I think that's the first guy. If I was defending or if I was looking cool body, look, I'm assuming he knows this, but that's the one guy you don't want to let in or
Yeah.
get anything on him. And I think it was just unfortunate to see what Galaxy saw the actual threat of Mamadou Fall. But yeah, to your point, I wasn't once this Galaxy scored. I was not expect. I was not. I was like, okay, it's time for Galaxy's respond because we've seen what happened. Obviously, it happened like 9 minutes later. Grand Sir ties the game. Beautiful pass. Let's see. Let's play it.
Garcia's through. Garcia equalises right through the heart of LAFC. And already it's clear that we have here two very fragile teams.
He's just such a special player. Victor Vasquez, educated at Barcelona, so clever on and off the ball, but the technical ability to deliver the final ball with the perfect weight and the perfect angle for any attacking player to put it in the back of the net. Great spot here, but then the ability outside the right foot, but at the right pace so Grandsir can fool the goalkeeper.
I mean, it was a beautiful pass. It was literally a beautiful pass from Victor Vasquez, and we've seen him do that time and time again. JP, on the LAFC side, when you see that goal get scored, what are a few things that you notice?
The first things I noticed, because I mean, I was dead center in the stadium, so I guess I had a pretty good view. Crisosto, when the twister gets sucked out, and then that's when Araujo plays the ball into Victor Vasquez all by himself, or Chicharito, whoever controls the ball in the center. So obviously that's going to suck a center back out, which you see with Murillo, being front and center, getting cut out. And then, Victor plays a good ball, and then Fall just can't reach it. So it's just us out of position again. Blackman, I don't know. I think he could have done a bit more. Him coming out wasn't the best. It wasn't his fault, entirely, but I think he could have done a bit more. And then, after the goal, he just stays there. If it was Tomas, he would have been screaming or he would have been clapping or something. I think he's a bit too quiet still. I don't know if he's nervous or that's just the way he is, but I expect him to be more of a vocal voice, especially if you're the keeper and it's a derby.
Yeah, and I think maybe I'll also add to that is Blackburn. He's still getting accustomed to his teammates and them, and it's just obviously I don't think any keeper that they've had so far, or the way, excuse me, bringing a brand new keeper in into a game like this, and getting to know his teammates is going to take time. But yeah, Blackman definitely could have done a better job on that. Jonny, what were your thoughts on that goal and that pass?
Beautiful. It was a great goal, great pass. The keeper came out like not early, but it's like when you look at it, like when you rewatch the play, it's such a dangerous pass because like Grandsir is making such a specific run to where even if the keeper didn't come out when he did, like it still would have been extremely dangerous. It was such a good play by the Galaxy, and that's the type of stuff that we want to see. That's what we've been asking for, It was awesome though. Victor Vasquez, like we say it every single week, he's just so good with his passing. He's so razor accurate, and it's just great. And I love him in that position, and I love how he used the 6 players from the mid to the strikers to the wings and everything. Like I loved that formation. I want to get that another try because everyone did great. Like there's great things to take away from yesterday. I mean, obviously we didn't win, but besides that goal, there was a lot of amazing things to take away from that formation. And I think that was just one of them, obviously.
Yeah, and obviously, look, I think they went through a 4-3-3 or 4-2-1-3, whichever way you want to look at it. But yeah, I think there was so many different opportunities, right? JP B-Rod had a 1-on-1 opportunity with Jonathan Bond. I was like, okay, here comes the second goal for LAFC. Unfortunately, Brian Rodriguez does not capitalize. Jonathan Bond gets a paw on it. What were your thoughts on that play?
That was the play. Chicho or Atuesta cut in, and it's a clear path for B-Rod. If you're a DP in this league and it's on your dominant foot with that much space and time, you have to put that in. And he didn't, credit to Bond or, credit to B-Rod's best shot, but that needs to go in, and that would have been the 2-1. maybe then that would have made it a bit more electrifying, made it more goals or something, because LAFC always concedes. But yeah, that needed to go in.
Yeah. What were your thoughts, Johnny, on that save from Jonathan Bond?
It's terrifying, dude. I hate that. And it's funny because like it's just like this is the type of game where you expect things like that to happen. And even though both of these teams have just sucked the last couple of, months, it's like or weeks, we still expect those fireworks. I didn't expect it to be a 1-1. I was thinking the exact same thing you were thinking. Oh, here comes the 2-1 from LAFC. But yeah, Bond has been having a kind of weird couple of games, and I'm happy that he was at least able to stop that. Obviously,
Yeah, and we got it, and here we can pull it up just to show that, because I thought this could have been a definitely interesting opportunity, obviously, to say the least, for Galaxy. I mean, excuse me, for LAFC to definitely go up, and we go play it.
What a great chance here for Brian Rodriguez. And Jonathan Bond has to do a real good job. What a great chance.
And I think,
here
like,
for
watch
Brian
out, obviously, as
Rodriguez.
a replay, we see a pause there. Jonathan Bond does everything right. He could have even got near post with that opportunity. I think it's just the location of where
Jonathan Bond has to do
where Rodriguez goes with
real
that
good
opportunity is what's the most disappointing on that play, because right, you expect him to be, like you said, he's a DP. You expect him to finish us, obviously, in a special big game. We know last El Trafico, he was able to take care of those opportunities, but this game, obviously, he didn't. And in a game like this, you get very, very limited opportunities, and you got to make the most of them somehow, some way. You got to find to score those goals, and obviously he didn't. Game in a tie, but obviously I don't think, because of B-Rod, the game in a tie. They're both opportunities for both teams. Even the Galaxy headers that I believe from your boy Nick Dupuy, and was it legit? I think in the second half hit the crossbar. Let's talk about the second half, because the second half was, to me, was not as exciting as the first half, because there was more fireworks obviously in the first half. I was like, okay, this could be another high scoring game. 2 goals in the first like 20 minutes. Second half comes around. Johnny, what were your thoughts on the second half?
boring. It was boring. We had 2 like all right chances. I think that we hit the bar twice, and we hit the crossbar, and then we hit the side of it. And honestly, like, yeah, it was boring. It was one of those kind of situations where you were like, man, like we did everything right. We were so close to getting that second goal. But besides that, it was just kind of like a boring half. There's not a lot to take away from it. It seemed like both teams were kind of content with a tie. And, for LAFC fans traveling, I think a tie in a lot of senses is a win. And then obviously for us, I was telling everyone after the game, I know it's an unpopular opinion, man, I will walk away with a tie over a loss any day.
Yeah, well, I think anybody would, but especially for this one, I think you wanted to get a win. I don't think anybody obviously goes into the mind being a tie, but the type of performances that we've seen these two teams, unfortunately, the last couple of weeks, you weren't surprised. I think about in the 70th minute, I was like, it's looking like a tie. I was like, give me a game, a late game winner or something. JP, what were your thoughts on the second half?
Yeah, like you said, boring. I ended up buying cookies. I ended up wasting half of the second half buying cookies, waiting in line, watching it on the TV, because that's how.
Oh yeah, what were those, the Galaxy cookies, right? They're like $20.
Kathy's cookies. I got the full bucket. I was like, these kids look too happy eating them, so I had to get some.
They're pretty fire, man.
They are. They melted in my mouth. But so I guess that was the highlight of my second half. But I think Duke should have gotten some minutes. Cifuentes did not have a good game. Obviously, I guess that ended up in Bob's favor because Farfan got injured, so he needed Ibiaga for that last sub. But yeah, I mean, Pancho went in and did things well, so that makes you question why he just didn't play the whole full game, and Crisostomo didn't. Atuesta leaving makes you question how serious that injury is again, or maybe he came back too soon. He has the international break to get back, but we don't know if that's enough. And then B-Rod coming off a bit too early. I think Chicho, Moose, and B-Rod up top would have been better. But yeah, I mean, it just overall wasn't the best second half.
Yeah, and I think let's talk about a little bit more on that on the B-Rod situation, or B-Rod getting subbed out, I should say. It just seems like Bob really wanted to play with two strikers up top because he just went with that. But I'm with you. I think even B-Rod with that missed opportunity, you still want to have some type of threat up there. Because yeah, I think Joe Araujo, I don't know when the was out, he ended up getting subbed off and stuff. So you still got the speed. I don't know if that would have happened if B-Rod didn't get subbed out, but um yeah, I think if you could have played three up top, but I still think they're still trying to figure out how you can play all three up top. You know, Danny, even whenever Carlos Vela, if he does come back, that the offense is going to look different. But I think you could play B Rod as a wing. And I think you still had to keep him in the game. And I think that's what obviously was questionable. Would it change the game? No, but we've seen some late game magic from Danny Masevsky. And I guess for Bob, B Rod wasn't cutting it. Johnny, obviously, what'd you think about obviously the second half substitutions? We saw Leggett come in. I think also Sasha ended up coming in.
Chovalik.
Jovelik. And I think that's the thing. Jovelik came in pretty early, but he wasn't as impactful as he's been early in the season.
It's hard because like a lot of people are like, oh, I want to see Jovelik and Chicha up top. I want to do a 4-4-2, which is cool. I'm all for it. But also it's like, and I always would critique this player. Alvarez is beginning, I feel, noticeably better. And it's like having him on the wing, it's like I do have like this new trust for him, and he has been kind of finding his way. Having Grand Sierra on the left is awesome. So it's like when Jovelik right now, I totally think is a sub striker. Like I think he is going to come in as a sub off the bench and join in the second half. He didn't really add a lot to it though, because you are right. Because at that point of the game, it was just kind of like a battle for the midfield. Both teams had a hard time getting it to their strikers and like finding that pace of attack. And I just don't think that if we had Jovelik in the first half, it would have been different. But I don't think he didn't make much of an impact. Same thing with Leggett. I always love to see Leggett, my boy, that boy. But yeah, none of the subs really seemed like they had a profound impact. It just seemed like they helped maintain the game.
Yeah, and I think that was the biggest thing because usually subs, you want someone to be a game changer, which for LAFC, whether it's Danny Masevsky or Jovelich for the LA Galaxy side. But to me, I still want to see Jovelich and Chicharito up top. You got to give me at least one game. I understand, you just got to because it's like nothing's really working for them, and obviously nothing's clicking. I guess for Galaxy, it's 9 games without a win or whatever. I think I just gotta see it, right? Whether it's Ephraim that goes on the bench, that's probably who's most likely gonna go on the bench. But I think you just gotta see it because the thing that surprises me that Jovelic's not starting in this game is because he scored twice against the LA Galaxy. He had that big game the first time he played, and it showed. I think sometimes it's a little harder for him to get into his rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I wish I would have saw Jovelich start with Chicharito in this game, but obviously Greg Vanny has different tactics, and he wants to see him as of right now come off the bench and do that. But if you can sub him off for Ephraim, I think you can also start him because it seems like sometimes it will work. You will have Jovelich, come in and assist Chicharito and do the dirty work and stuff. But like yesterday, he just was not not at all impactful, and I don't know if he's frustrated that he's not getting the start or whatever. But you have two offensive weapons that you can bring, they can start, and if whether Jovelich is not cutting it, and then the second half, then you make the substitution and change the game up a bit. But yeah, I think that's what I like to see. Go ahead, JP.
Super Cabral did not play.
That is
He's not.
that is, and I think Greg Vanny addressed it, and he pretty much, just to paraphrase, he pretty much said he essentially wants to see more out of Cabral, and just to keep it short. Obviously he's a DP player. He says something along the lines, because I was listening to the press call, but I'm not trying to quote him here. But what I understood from him in the press call is like he wants to see a little bit more out of Cabral. He's calling him a talented player, very skillful, but he wanted to see more. What were your thoughts on Cabral not playing yesterday, Johnny?
I guess it was a little surprising because it's something that I wanted from the Galaxy, and it's basic, it's American, but I'm gonna come out and say it. I want a consistent 4-4-2, and I've said it before a bunch. And having Cabral on the right wing would be, I think that he would be really comfortable there. Put Joveljic and Cheech up top, have Grandsir on the left, and then we'll have the similar midfield and back four as we did this game. I think it's good though. I think he's still the main guy. I think that all the fans know Cabral's the main guy, like one of the main guys. I know Vanny does, but I do think that Cabral had to sit out and spend some time to, I guess, watch everyone else play an important game, especially like an LAFC game. Like you didn't play in El Trafico, dude. Like if that's not gonna tell you that this is a situation, I don't know what will.
Yeah. No, you got to step it up. Is pretty much what I was sensing from Greg Vanny, because you're a DP player. You got to be show more hunger, and that's not what he's showing. And I don't know if feels like he has I don't know what it is, and I think he needs to figure it out ASAP, because they're paying him a lot of money, and you can't be giving these type of performances that you've been given. And that's what I like about Greg Vanny though, is he will set out a DP if they're not performing. JP, let's talk about obviously LAFC, and Carlos Vela, obviously, because a lot of people were very upset. I was not surprised that Carlos Vela was not playing this game, but how you feeling about Carlos Vela?
I mean, I want to keep him another year, but only if he's going to be healthy and he reduces his salary. I just can't. It's not feasible to pay him $6 million if he's not going to be healthy. It's just, for the club, for any business, it's just not feasible, regardless of how good the marketing is. He needs to be healthy, and that's what I want from him next year. I want him to come back and play these 6 games. There's no way he hinders this team coming in. They're not going to play worse. They're already out of playoffs. What's the worst that can happen? He's the MVP of 2 seasons ago. He's arguably the best player in this league when healthy. So I want him back. It just depends on if he's fully healthy and if he really wants to play, or if he's just waiting out for a contract, or I don't know. It could be anything, because you don't know with Carlos and the club. But yeah, I want to see him, B-Rod, and Chicho up top. The bad thing is B-Rod is not going to be here because of international break, so the chemistry might not be there for the 3 of them. But Vela and Chicho is going to be something that I'm looking forward to the last 6 games.
Yeah, and I think that's the interesting thing, because so many fans are very upset at Vela. So many fans essentially want him out, don't want him back, and it's just like, when your best player doesn't show up and there's no reasoning behind it, it's just like, keep saying it's an injury, this and that. It's all a speculation, right? And it also goes to show that this injury is a lot more serious than you initially thought, and that's how it is with LAFC. They don't necessarily give you all the info right away with these injuries, and that's why it makes you speculate. And maybe fans may think Vela's not in it. I have no idea. I just don't really sense the motivation from Vela about the season anymore. That's just my assumption, because I just, like, when a player is, and Vela has been about this team, all in about this team, even the season. But obviously, the season has not gone that well. But I think also it's just like, and Vela's not this type of dude, but he rarely posts about LAFC anymore on his social media. And people are like, oh, it's just social media. Yes and no. And I know he's a family man. I know he's all about his family, and I love that. It's amazing. You should be always about your family. But he has not posted anything about LAFC, right? And it kind of goes to show, at least to me, where his mindset is at. And there's nothing wrong with you spending time with your family, but like, your team depends on you. Your job is depending. The people that support you is depending on you. At the moment, you're just not showing up. And you're not. At least post something about the team.
At least be there.
Yeah, or at least be there or something like that. But you didn't see either to those two, and I think that's what upsets fans, because he's not showing it in a way where people could see it. Like, hey, let's get back. Let's do this. Even when Chicharito wasn't playing, he was at least posting, though. In 2020, he wasn't posting. I think a lot of fans got upset with Chicharito, but like, I think Vela, in one way, has to show that he cares about the fans, and he cares if he wants to be here. I don't know. You never know. I think that's just an interesting thing about Vela, and we probably won't even find out So maybe if he stays, he stays. If he doesn't, we may not even find out till he's already gone.
Yeah.
That's just the way it may be. But I think that's just an interesting thing because he has not been able to show up. Obviously it's been a disappointing season. Been a disappointing year, but we'll see what happens. Next thing I want to talk about is the standings. I don't think either team moved. I think both teams stayed, right. Galaxy coming into this was in 6th place, right, and I think LAFC coming into this they were 9th place, and they stayed in that position. So let me pull up that so people at home watching they can also see this. Johnny, what are your thoughts? Obviously, no movement. A win probably would have got you above Real Salt Lake. So Galaxy are in 6th place, excuse me, with 39 points. LAFC are in 9th place with 34 points. What are your thoughts with the standings as they look with this 1-1 draw yesterday?
Every Galaxy fan that is bummed about the tie needs, and this is how I feel again. I'm just happy we're still in the playoff run. Like, I mean, let's be honest here. Who
Mhm.
in MLS history has gone winless in 9 games and still has been in the play? I don't think this has ever happened. I'm going to take it. That's such like, I mean, it's a bummer. We want better results. We want to figure out what's going on with the team, but it's like the fact that we're still in the top 7 is like, it's insane. So I'm stoked. I'll take it. I'll keep taking this win. I mean, it's luck at this point, but that's it. I'm stoked about it.
Yeah, we should say why. Obviously, Real Salt Lake, 39 points above Galaxy. Galaxy in 6th place with 39. Minnesota, 38 points. Vancouver with 37. LAFC in 9th place with 34 points. Obviously, JP, how you feeling? This game could have been, obviously, this dub could have been huge. You guys probably I don't know if you would have moved up. Because I think Vancouver has a game ahead, but
Yeah.
how you feeling with the standings? Obviously, not that many games left, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this derby felt like it was winnable. It was the first, Carson win. It would have been good for the locker room and everything for the final push. But yeah, I mean, looking at the standings, you need 2 teams to drop points twice, and that's Vancouver or Real Salt Lake or the Galaxy. I don't think Minnesota is going to drop points because of the way they play, and I think that they'll fine. So we need to rely on Salt Lake, Galaxy, and Vancouver choking on it, and then LAFC to not choke. And we know how
That's a whole mouthful right there.
yeah,
That's a whole.
we know how that goes when LAFC needs to show up, at least this season. It hasn't been good. So I mean, maybe with Vela back these 6 games, he gives it his all for he's like 6 last games, the last run or whatever, and we make playoffs. But Salt Lake have been shaky, especially with the new coach. Vancouver has been playing good. They killed San Jose 3-0 yesterday. And then the Galaxy are inconsistent, we've seen it. Anything can happen with the Galaxy. They can either go back up or they can, keep on coming down, because this result wasn't good for them either. I mean, wasn't the best. It was fine. They didn't lose, but anything can happen because we haven't won. Both LA teams haven't won. Winless in 4 us, and then you guys are what, winless in 9 or
I think
8?
10 now.
Yeah, so
19.
anything can happen. Anything can happen, and if LAFC do not make the playoffs, I'm not surprised because we're not in playoffs now.
Yeah, and I think that's the interesting part, right? Because a lot of things will a lot of those changes are bound to happen. I think regardless of even if LAFC do make the playoffs, you definitely need some changes. We'll see them, but we won't find out for maybe it was another month when the regular season ends. But yeah, or at the end of this month. But yeah, I think that's just the most interesting thing is you have both teams that should be playing a lot better than they are. They have some talent, obviously injuries and all this. When both teams were healthy, but it's unfortunate that both these teams are in this situation and can't find anything to keep it going or find anything to clicking, because it's like I don't know. It's just so disappointing, As someone who covers both teams, yesterday's game was like, give me my time back. It's like,
This must be hard for you, man. I feel bad for you. Like, you have 2 teams to depend on, and both of them are dropping the ball.
oh my
Like,
god,
I think it's hilarious.
yeah,
Well,
it's
it's not
like
funny for me or JP, but you get the point.
Yeah, it was just like watching. It's because I've been able to watch, obviously, at least for the second half of Galaxy and obviously LAFC. It's just like, all right, these teams, could potentially make a deep run, and it's just been like disappointment after disappointment, and it's just like yesterday was by like the worst. And I was talking to a couple other media members, and they're like, someone said they're like, I should have just stayed home. I was like, I should have stayed home, and I was like, yeah, me too, but I would have been disappointed. I was like, but usually these games live up to the hype, regardless of what's going on. But unfortunately, it's just not. And also, you know what I realized this season, that maybe because of the 2020 season break, I didn't realize it as much. But it's the MLS season is a lot longer than you actually think. I don't know. I don't know if
Oh yeah.
you know, but this season just covering both teams and just. I don't know. I think yesterday I was like, man, this season's so long. We still have a couple more games to go. It's like I'm holding on as well. Just like these two teams, I'm holding on as well. But yeah, JP, anything you like to see change? Obviously, in these next couple games. Obviously, I know we talked about Vela, we know B-Ron and stuff like that. But what would you like to see change, or what would you like to see more of, or what would you like not to see of?
Oh, don't pull B-Rod out. Just let him play. He's that guy that just needs, maybe one or two. I mean, he got one, but he missed. So give him another one. Um, Chicho, I guess, needs more help. Um, I don't want Chris starting. And we got Blessing back. That was a good thing. That was, I think, the biggest thing for us. We got Blessing back. He did not look injured. You can plug him in at right back, or you can plug him in the middle. I think we're gonna plug him in the middle now that Atuesta's, injured. I say start Moon. They gave Moon a lot of touches, and he looked very dangerous. I think that was another positive. Murillo looked good. Murillo actually looked good this game. Maybe one of his best games. He did not let Chicharito do much. So that's something to applaud on. But the team has been like this. They have 2 or 3 good games, or players have 2 or 3 good games, and then they just fall off. The other thing is we scored a goal on set piece. How do we score it? You don't go first post on the corners. Every time you don't go first post on the corners, they score, or they have a higher chance of scoring. Yeah, and I want Vela back. I just want Vela back. It's that simple. Just it's whatever, an experiment, the last dance, whatever you want to call it. Just put him in 5-6 games. What is he gonna do? If he gets re-injured, it's not the end of the world. We've been playing without him, and if he comes back and helps us, then we can make playoffs, because anything is possible in MLS. Literally anybody can just start dropping points now, or anybody can start winning. Is LAFC going to win 6 in a row? I don't think so. But, with Vela, it's definitely a higher chance than without him.
Yeah. Johnny, what would you like to see more of, less of the LA Galaxy with these final games?
I say it every week. I'm going to say it again. A consistent lineup, man. That's what's killing us. Is like it's hard to have these plans, like having players having to go in completely different areas, and I notice there's more consistency as the season goes on, but I want there to just be like, hey, you four, you guys are always going to be the defense. Like we're going to have the same midfield, we're going to have the same strikers. You can call it predictable, but at least the guys will know how to play together. Which is a big issue. It seems like a lot of the time these guys are still learning how to play together. And, that's why I've said, and it's a very unpopular opinion, but that's why I'm saying, like, it's a rebuilding season. We bought so many players in the offseason that it takes time to develop that chemistry, especially when you don't have a consistent lineup. So I want a consistent lineup. Let's try it, though. Let's try to get Jovic up top with Chicha. Let's try to do a 4-4-2. Let's try to, see if that helps the pace of our attack, and that's really it. Just consistency. Because if we just keep doing this type of situation where we are trying new lineups and, taking people out, putting people in, and it's still not working, maybe we should just stick with one and hope for the best, or not even that, just like stick with one and see if it works for a couple of games. Cause we're winless. Sorry. We're winless in 9 games. Like just do something at this point, try something new at this point.
Yeah, no, I think that's the refreshing. Obviously, like we said, so many things go into that as well. I feel like the injuries, this and that, but I definitely get what you're trying to say. With these with the Galaxy, right? Because obviously they started so hot, and obviously no, I don't think any team was expecting, or anybody. I wasn't expecting them to keep it rolling. Obviously, once Chicharito went down, and all these different things. But I think right now things aren't clicking, and there's so many new players. Obviously, a lot of veterans, which is good. And I think for me is like, how are these guys going to come out of this, right? Because we've seen this team be really good, but right now they're not. Or is this just who they are now, right? So it's like
Mhm.
one game or two games, but I don't think this is they're this bad because of the talent and who they have. But I think it needs to be better, right? And how they're going to come out, because at this point it's more of a mental block than anything else. We know the talent is there. We know they can perform. We know these different things, but I think it's more of a mental block for the LA Galaxy, and so many new players coming in, and how they're able to get out of this, because that the Galaxy definitely need to perform. Obviously for the LAFC side, yeah, I'm with you, JP. Carlos Vela needs to come back. He needs to show something. He needs to uh, at least show that he cares in some way, because at least he owes it to the fans in one way or the other. He owes it. He definitely owes it to the fans. The fans always there. They're chanting, cheering, regardless, right? I think he owes that to the fans. And as for Bob Bradley, it's like it's quite it's tough. We already know Bob Bradley has not had a good season. We know he's in a contract year. We know he may or may not come back. But yeah, we'll have to see. But I think also a lot of players, Chicho obviously did not have a good game, but I still feel Chicho is an offensive threat. It's just who's helping him up there. I feel like it eventually is going to weigh on him that he has to carry so much of the load. Especially in a physical game like this, I feel like he was going to be very limited. He was going to get a couple chances, but I didn't feel once the game started going, I was like, yeah, he's not going to get in the looks. And when Brian doesn't score, and a couple other players, Janela had a shot off the post and stuff, it does start away, because we also saw it away on Carlos Vela. But yeah, I would like to see Carlos Vela and Chicho play, because I could definitely see Carlos Vela setting up Chicho really, really good. Really, really, in a lot of different plays, because we know Chicho can finish. But I also think is the goalkeeper situation. I know it's only a few games for Blackman, but Blackman did not move the needle for me. It wasn't like, oh, he's a superior keeper. Yes, it's only a couple games. Yes, I know, understand he's coming to a new team, but I feel like LAFC didn't set this goalkeeper up properly. You got to keep it towards the end of the season, and trying to have him save this. I never felt that LAFC. The reason why LAFC was not succeeding
Was
was
their
because
goal?
of the goalkeeping situation. It was the defense. It's not
Yeah,
the goalkeeping the situations, the injuries. But if you want to talk about the five guys on the back, is the defense. It's not necessarily the goalkeeper. Yeah, you can get a better goalkeeper, but the defensive issues have not been addressed. And regardless of how good a keeper may be, if your defense is not good, if he's gonna get scored on. It could be the best goalkeeper in the world. Yes, he may make a couple aggressive, more acrobatic saves, but the way Blackman kind of came out on that goal, it's early, but I just feel like LAFC still are still going to be looking for the goalkeeper potentially after the season, because they're not committed to him. And it's not Blackman's fault. I just don't feel it. It's the people who brought in Blackman, who didn't. I feel like set him up properly. He's coming in a tough season. He's coming in to save a team where the team is not good defensively. So it's just a lot going on with LAFC, and I think they just both clubs. Let's be honest, both clubs need to be better. You play in LA, you can't be at the end of this low of the standings at this season. Go ahead, JP.
the last thing, just get Edwards out of the left back spot. Just get Edwards out of the left back spot.
Oh my God, Edwards. Edwards
Yeah.
has had. I was surprised that he played after the
He's
last
a roller
game.
coaster. He's
Yeah,
just a roller coaster. He's
yeah.
either going to be Messi or he's either going to be
I
Edwards.
wouldn't say
I don't
Messi,
know. Yeah,
but
but he's going to be
he's a
dangerous or he's going to be
yeah,
non-existent.
yeah.
Um,
I think
Other thing is Romero had the language connection with the back line.
yeah.
Murillo and everybody speaking
I think
Spanish.
those are the things that LAFC, what I've seen, do not
Catch up on. They
do
just don't
not
see
really
it.
put that much um
Emphasis on.
emphasis, or yeah, because you had even when Zimmerman, I don't mean to go all the way back, but Zimmerman had connection with Segura. So a lot of those things you're so used to hearing a certain voice in the back, and it's just not there you're used to guy yelling and screaming. It's just not there when you switch it up, right? It's like you got to get used to this. He may not play the long balls. He may just pass it and stuff, but I don't know. I just feel like Blackman is not set up properly to succeed. He may change things these last few games, but I don't really see it. Johnny, what are your final thoughts?
Consistent lineup. Stop trying to get Sturs into the game. Let's try to put Joveljic up top with Chicha. And yeah, I mean, let's just try to. I mean, obvious reasons. Let's keep 6th place. Let's keep it going. We're doing something right, baby.
Can't
So
get below there. You can't get below. You don't want to. I should say you can't get below
I'll take
6th place,
7th,
but
baby. Not
you don't
not
want.
anything more, but I'll take 7th as well, as long as we get to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's unfortunate the way things is going. Look, one thing I do want to talk about. I guess because people have like been hitting me up on Twitter. Is like the situation with the fans. I don't know. I feel like both clubs need to be better. LAFC and LA Galaxy when it comes to, and I talked about this at the last El Trafico at the Bank California Stadium. Just both clubs need to be better when opposing teams travel to the stadium. I understand both teams fans don't like it, clearly know that, but I don't think violence is any way the right answer, fighting anything like that. I just, some of the videos, some of the images and all that stuff, even me walking out the stadium. So I don't ever leave the stadium right after the game's over because of those press calls and all these different things. So maybe I leave maybe like about an hour or two, depending. But yeah, yesterday I listened to the press calls and I saw like a lot of commotion, but I was in the back, so I didn't see that there was a lot of fights and all these. I didn't see it until this morning. I got tagged and I got people sent stuff to me, but I just feel like both clubs need to be better protecting fans of the opposing side. I understand that, like, yeah, you have the supporter section that you protect, but there's like, but you also have other fans and families, and I think what happened yesterday, even there was cops there too, but I think there needs to be a way where they make this a priority. And right now I just don't feel, or it's not at least come across to me that this is a priority, fan safety, because it's happened at Bank of California Stadium, it's happened at Dignity. And it's just to me it's like the violence and all that. There's kids and all these different things. And seeing so much blood and seeing ambulances and all these different things, I don't think that's what people come to go. Look, the rivalry is there, right? But I think if people don't start feeling, it's definitely the negative thing about this rivalry. And I don't know what the solution is, or what that, but I think maybe more security, maybe I don't know, better security. I don't know what the situation, but I do feel like the teams need to address it. The teams need to come together and be like, hey, whenever our team, or it's not just the supporter section or whatever, but what happened yesterday, I just don't think that's cool. I just don't think that's right. And let's be honest, both fan bases hate each other, right? Especially you have alcohol involved and all these different things. But I guess to me, it was just unfortunate to see that, and you never want to see that when that happens. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that.
So like what I notice is, because like I get hyped up, I talk a lot of shit. Sorry, gosh, I cursed twice today, but I talk a lot of garbage, and but like you're all so wired up, you're all so pumped that it's like it's bound to happen. We all know this. It's not, that doesn't mean it's okay. Like we need to figure out how to be chill. But the one thing I'll say is that every single time Dignity Health Sports Park has set the security situation up, it's been different. It's zero consistency, which is awful. So the fans don't know what they're doing, and they always handle it like horribly. Like literally, and I don't know if you saw this, JP. That like the 3252 was like on the railings set up, like when they were waiting for everyone to leave, and like everyone was just like yelling at each other, and I kept thinking like, what's security doing? Like, what's their plan here?
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
And they were trying to get everyone out, being like rude as hell.
Oh, is this at the end of the game? Because then I don't know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was nuts though, and it was like, what's their plan here? And that's the problem is that like I've gone to 3 Bank of California rivalry games, like with the Galaxy, like I've gone with Galaxy fans, and every single time it's been the same with security. They close off the sections. Like, yeah, fights are going to happen. That's going to happen either way, but at least it's consistent. At least everybody's on the same page. Like with Dignity Health Sports Park, I've been to like every single one, and every single time it's been different. and it's always somebody else's fault. And the thing is that we can, like, you know, obviously it's like, come on, fans, like, let's not fight, let's not get super violent. Seeing that dude get all bloody was like, that was a bummer, dude. That was a failure on everybody. And, you know, when I see that, I also look at it and say, when is the Galaxy or Dignity Health Sports Park going to step up and be like, hey, our security sucks, dude. Our security's garbage. Like, let's actually do something about this. Like, they are awful. They're terrible. And they're not going to change anything. They're not going to. They're the only time they're going to bring something up is when it jumps into the media and they have to. But this situation, like that dude getting all, you know, bloody, and like, I don't know if you saw that, JP, but like that, I think that's newsworthy. I think the Galaxy should talk about it. I think that we need to make this more serious. Something else that is like kind of like I thought about was the whole smoke thing. Like, you know, and last time and the other time isn't right either. I'm not going to say that, like, you know, apparently Galaxy fans were throwing beer cups onto fans, LAFC fans. That's not right. That's not cool, you know. But if you're the same LAFC fans that are saying that that's not cool, and then you're throwing smoke canisters onto families, like, okay, MLS and Galaxy and everyone else, bring consistency to this table. Like, you guys have got to be consistent with this stuff. You know, like, it's not like, come on, you can't just have this stuff happen and then be like, it's a great rivalry.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
it's awesome. It's like, do something about it, dude. Like,
Yeah.
these are families, they're casuals. Like, if it's like 3252 can handle it, like Lars can handle it, ACB can handle it, all them can, but like, these are families, dog. Like, don't involve them.
Yeah, and I think that's what the potential gets lost and all that. And I think that's just the unfortunate part, because I've seen things from both sides, and it's like it's unfortunate when it gets like that. But I just think the people up top need to do a better job. JP, I don't know
Yeah.
if you have any thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the bloody guy. I saw the fight, you know, at the Galaxy supporter section. I no. I mean, I saw the blood on the floor. I don't know how bloody he, you know, was, or
Yeah.
the image of him. But you know, obviously, you know, it means so much to me. It means so much to Johnny. But at the end of the day, it's just a game. You know, as much as you know, soccer is life, soccer is this and all that. It's just a game at the end of the day. And you have to just go home and you know, suck up the result. You know, I was at the last El Trafico. It was a tie that felt like a loss, but I didn't, you know, go seek a Galaxy guy and, you know, just try to sock him or something.
Yeah,
You know, it's just not the way to do it. The security situation was a bit, you know, sketchy. I did, you know, go out, and then the 3252 was just, they were sectioned off by literally like wire. It was just wire, and then like 4 security guards, like not letting you go in or out. And you know, I don't know if they should have picked another spot, but if the exit for the 3252 is right, you know, right next to the Galaxy section supporter group and the back, like that side of the section, it's just not right.
I don't think. No, I think they exited the other way. I think.
Well, yeah, but
32.
they were still too close to each other.
And
Yeah,
not to
that's what
mention,
that's.
they were all sitting there at the end when Lars and everyone was leaving, and it's
Yeah.
like, what do you think's gonna happen?
Yeah, like,
Like,
it's
what are you guys doing?
inevitable.
That's
Yeah.
the thing is like the teams don't understand that. I don't know. They do understand, but they don't show that this to me it has to be a priority. Um, I don't know. Like I just don't know what the solution is. I mean, look, we're just here to talk about it, but I literally don't know what the solution is because
Because in
it's
Mexico, like the varas or the fan section, like they cannot leave
yeah,
until
yeah, yeah.
everybody else is left.
Yeah.
So the 3252 would have had to stay an extra hour or two. So there was no way. Obviously,
Yeah.
fights are inevitable. It happens
I don't think
everywhere.
I don't know if the fights happen on that. I don't know. I don't know. But from what I saw, it was like the main entrance. Maybe
Yeah.
the main entrance was with everything I saw.
Yeah, but
But
that's why like 3252 was there, and then the Galaxy section was like that. They were both on like the left side to you. So like that's the thing. Regardless if they want to make them exit the other way, they're just too close when they come out.
yeah.
For the record, I talked tons of shit to the 3252 when I passed them. For the record, but with that being said, they should still not do like have that. I don't know. That setup is just garbage. And the thing is, too, is like it seemed like they put so many security guards around the 3252 that they didn't put them on the other side of ACB, which is where those fights happened. So then when the fights all broke out, you literally would just saw sheriffs sprinting over to it, a bunch of security guards running over to it, and it was like you know, it kind of just showed how like we've done this
Or
countless amount of times already, and they still don't understand how to handle it.
yeah,
You know,
that's the thing. Is like, dude, we're towards the end of the season, and you should have a system employ. You have obviously you have the. It didn't matter how many sheriffs were there yesterday.
Yeah.
It just didn't have a proper system. I was like, okay, you go first, or you go out like that. Like I don't know. I know we're talking a lot, but I think it just needed to be addressed. I don't know. I don't know necessarily what the solution is, but I don't know. They both teams need to talk about it because you don't want your fans to be going through this and social media take over this. But yeah, look, I don't think we need to address anything else. But I think
Wait, I got one
I
last thing. One last
what
thing. I'm sorry. It's 2 seconds. I went to the gas station after, and the guy at the gas station, and next to my house, he goes, "Hey, did the Galaxy? Oh, Galaxy tied, whatever. You know what the Galaxy should do? They should hire security from Mexico. They actually know how to handle rivalries." And I was like, "That's a good idea. I like
I
that
don't
idea."
know, dude. I've been to Mexico. They don't. I've been police in Mexico. Don't even. I've been
You
to
just
Estadio
buy the
Azteca.
money and they'll let
Stop,
you.
please.
You pay your money. I don't know.
Please.
I don't. They just need to invest more. Look to me,
Yeah.
and someone who look. I'm gonna be honest. When I go to LAFC games, or when I go to away games, whether it's LAFC, like actually even to last game, like I interviewed some LAFC fans, and they're like, "Oh, you're a Galaxy fan, blah blah." And then when I went to the Galaxy section, when the teams travel, oh, you're an LAFC fan. So they're like, I get the dislikeness, the hate from both sides, but I never feel like, oh, I want to fight these fans or or anything like that. But it's just like I understand what some of the people may go through because, like, I got a couple birds, got a couple middle fingers every now and then, and to me, I just find it hilarious because it's like I just like, dude, I ain't the one. I'm not gonna come here start things with you or anything like that. But I understand how hyped and everything fans are and all these different things. And right, there's the dislikeness is there. There's even I know there's dislikeness with people that work within the club, within people in both clubs, but they got to get over that and come to an agreement and be like, "Oh, this is not okay." And that's what I just want to see. But look, we're gonna wrap things up. I want to thank you guys for doing this so early and pre-recording this because I know a couple of us had a couple of things to do later today. So I want to thank you guys for hopping on so early. And for everybody tuning in, I appreciate you guys listening. Make sure to give us a subscribe on YouTube. Definitely trying to grow the YouTube channel. Would appreciate a subscription. So for Johnny and JP, this is Gio. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Later. Is it over?
We're still live. Or it still says live.
Subscribe to Johnny Bolin. Subscribe.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. It does not want to end. So we'll see what goes on here.